Are now tuned in to Hot Topics with Donna. And on this show, we do one thing: keep it real hot. That's honest, open, and transparent. If you didn't know, now you know. So sit back and unwind as we bring the vibe and a little bit of glorious sunshine to your heart, soul, and mind. Your lovely host, Hot Donna, will be with you in just a few moments. But while you wait, go ahead and set an atmosphere of peace in your space. If you can, cut the lights down low, get your hydration on, vibration zone. Cause tonight, you're about to receive some delicious food for your soul. Are you ready? 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 It's about to get You are indeed in the one and only place to be this evening. We appreciate you for joining us, and in just a few moments, we about to turn the heat all the way up. That's right. It's about to go down right now on Hot Topics with Donna. Show your virtual love by smashing that thumbs up and heart icon as many times as you can. And without further ado, I have the distinct pleasure of introducing your host, the one and only Hot Donna.
Hello, everybody. Thank you guys for joining Hot Topics with Donna. So I'm going to go ahead and invite my guest, and then we're going to get started. So I already sent him an invite. So hopefully he would get it in a few minutes. So thank you guys for joining Hot Topics with Donna. I am your host, Donna Taylor, and I am so glad that you guys took your time to come and see who I have on today. I'm excited as always when I get to interview people that are doing great and amazing things. My guest is on, but I have to send him an invite, and he's already accept the invite. So we're just gonna wait for him to. I am super excited. So you was excited. Hey there.
Yo, what up? How you?
I'm good. I'm representing you today.
I see it. I love it. I love it.
So thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. So my guest came on. Hey, Lynetta. This is Rasheed. I hope I'm saying it right. Myers. And I met him, wow, some years ago when you was doing, I did a photo shoot with you for MM7.
Yep.
So that's how I met you. And I was like, dang, that's been a long time. And so I'm going to tell people about you. I tried to look and see what your titles was, but I did go on your page. I know your father, correct?
Right.
And then your artist. So tell people about you. So I have a list of questions that I'm going to ask you. So, so tell people who you are, and we're going to get started.
Well, I mean, I don't know. That's a hard question to answer because, it's just so much. It's so much to it. But, I mean, but for the most part, yeah, like you explained, I do a little bit of everything in the entertainment field or, anything in that aspect. But, yeah, for the most part, yeah, I try to do a little bit of everything. If that makes sense. Yeah. For sure.
So I'm going to tell people you have a group called Team Collective.
I
And
do.
so how long have you guys been together as a group? And did you all know each other prior to the group getting together?
Mhm. Oh yeah. So initially when we started Team Collective, it's been about it was probably about 9 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
It was 16 people.
Wow.
Because the goal wasn't to be a group. The goal was to have a bunch of like-minded people working together and help market and promote
Mm-hmm.
each other. Because at the early stage, I realized that marketing was the most expensive part of any type of business, whether it's the music or
Right.
whether anything you have. The market it costs so much. So I figured if I can get a group of people together and they were able to help cross promote each other's work. Again, that's
Mm-hmm.
what led to the name Team Collective, because it had been a collective of different artists who were working together to actually help market and promote each other's music, brands, or whatever. So that gave it a more of a unified look without having to be a group like a Wu-Tang or, any of the other groups that had like multiple members that all did the same thing or tried to be all on the same songs and stuff like that. It's just that over time, it kind of trickled down to where it was 5 for a long time out of the 16. So that's how it got down to where it was, where it looked like a group more than
Right.
just looking like the movement, like what I set it out to be in the first place.
So with that, what was the music like? Hip hop, R&B, or just a genre of different things because of the people that you had in the group at that time?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. It was a mix. It was a mix of both. So it was hip hop and R&B. Of course, we had the DJ and we had models involved too. So that way it was easier to help market branding. You know what I mean? So yeah, so all of it was involved, and some people would do records together, some people had their own songs, stuff like that. But for the most part, yeah, that's what it was. And I met all these people at open mic. So we were doing a whole bunch of open mics, like open mic circuit at that time,
Mm-hmm.
and I became a fan of everyone. And then and so then that sparked the idea and the approach, and that's how I went from there.
So I saw where in 2013 y'all won an award at the Carolina Music Award. So I know a lot of people, and you do too, artists that get chosen for these awards. So how do they choose you to get these awards, and where are they kind of located at, or do they just go around in the local areas?
Well, from my understanding, it's always been a voting system. For what I was
Mm-hmm.
told, it's like a voting system. It's like halfway based on votes and halfway based on your activity, as far as like I guess your online presence. I mean, based on that's what they told me. And then what happened was people would nominate you first through
Okay.
votes, and then if you made one of the nominations, then they also voted for who they think should win the award in that category. So yeah, we won it twice. I mean, we've been nominated for it. I think we were nominated for it almost every year that we started, except for like maybe the
Mm-hmm.
latter years of it. And
Right.
we've won it twice, I think. I mean, throughout the course of Team Collective, we won about five music awards or something like that.
Yeah. Well, you guys are awesome. I like when I hang out with you guys. So how did you get into music? Did you come from a family of music? Or
No,
you
no,
just
no, no. It's just my coach. I just growing up. I mean, in Jersey, we grew up with. I mean, music was like the backdrop for everything, soundtrack for
mm-hmm,
everything.
right.
And where I'm from East Orange, New Jersey, and in that particular city alone, there's so many people who actually have became like mega superstars. From Queen Latifah to Naughty by Nature to Shaquille O'Neal to
Right.
Tisha Campbell to Whitney Houston to I mean, it's just so many that came out of my one city. The
Wow.
Artifact. I mean, Lauryn Hill, Wyclef, all of them are from right in my one city. And even Eminem used to be there a lot before he ever blew up because he was rolling with one of the groups that was really major at that time. Lords of the
Mm-hmm,
Underground, Redman. I mean, all of these people are from like my hood, my neighbor, like in my area, my city.
right.
So I had so many examples. Oh, YZ, don't let me forget him. And I've had so many examples of people who, I mean, that shared a similar scenario as far as like how we had to grow up and then boom,
Right.
achieving a certain level of success by using that art form. So it kind of fell into me because I was a dancer at first. I was a background dancer for like all the artists when they used to come into town. They would want
Wow.
background dancers when I was actually one of them. So I did that for a long time. I didn't really um, want to do like the artist part because I
Right.
felt like I couldn't write the music. So I never really did it. Somebody heard me rapping another song, like a Coogee rap song or something like that, and then they
Right.
asked me, you know, if I would do it if they wrote it. And I was like, all right, cool. And I went to the studio, and then, I mean, ever since then, it's been on. I think at that time I was about 16, 17 years old. So, you know what I mean? And then from there, it
Yeah,
was
because
just
that's what I
over.
was
I
going to
tried,
ask you
yeah.
too. Like, how do you come up with your songs? Because you guys have some dope songs. So do
Oh, my bad.
interruption. Sorry.
Okay.
I'm still here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
We are frozen right now. We're gonna see if he can we can get him back on. Hopefully he'll try to come back on. Okay, okay. So do you write your songs now?
Huh? You back? We back? You can see me?
Yeah, I'm back.
Oh, all right. What was the first thing? You said
I
something
said, do
before
you
that.
write your songs now? Do you write them? Do you write your songs, or is it a collective as your group? Do y'all all just come together and try to compose your song, or do you just write?
Oh, no, no, no. Like if it's a song with multiple people on it, then yeah, we'll like normally somebody will come with the concept and they'll have a beat or
Mhm.
something. They'll say, hey, you know, I like this record. Y'all want to get on it? And then if the other people like it, then yeah, they'll, you know, we just send it out and then everybody write their own piece. And then we don't really wait to hear it until we
Mhm.
actually get there. So that's one of the things that we always done. Like sometimes we wrote together. Like I'm not gonna lie, like we wrote together, but we were always like, if we wrote together, we were in a room together, but we wasn't like writing out loud, so to speak. Like, you know, it was still
Right.
one of them things where we kept this thing where we didn't want to know what the other person said till it was time to record. So that means that we really had to try to, you know, make sure our joint was on point your first
Right.
time in. So yeah, but that's what we would do. Yeah, yeah. Well, definitely write your own. Like, well, in that particular space, you know, write your own. Like when it comes to hooks and stuff like that, like, you know, if somebody
Mhm.
come up with a hook, like, you know, or like another artist outside of like the collective, then yeah, we always work
Right.
with stuff like that. But for the most part, no, we write everything ourselves.
And how long does it usually take you guys to get the music and the words together? Like, how long is that process?
Sheesh, I don't. It's all inspirational, so it just depends. Like, sometimes, I mean, it take a really long time to pick certain tracks that, well, music that may fit you as an artist. You have to do it take a lot of hours of just listening to music.
Right.
So
Right.
that's the hardest part. I mean, the writing part is not really hard. It's the music. It's like finding the right soundtrack, so to speak, that you want to
Mhm.
talk on, and that's the part that's really tough because you got to
Yes.
really take your time to listen. Like, you know what I mean? Like you don't get to just be like, all right, yeah, I like that, I like that, I like that. You can't. Even
Right.
if it's something you like, you have to listen to it for a while to make sure it's something that you want to actually focus on. You know, well, I don't know if all artists do that. I mean, but for
Right.
me, I took a long time to listen to music. So I listen to beats all the time, like riding my car or, you know, a lot of times that's what I do. I listen to beats a lot. So, you know, by the time I pick one or two or something to present to somebody, I probably already listened to about 100 of them, you know,
Right.
so.
Because what type of audience do you write your music according to your audience that you want to attract?
Yeah, and also, well, for me, the most part is whenever I write my solo music, I kind of just want to speak about life, and I like to talk about relationships a lot, not like just personal relationships between like men and women, but like relationships in general between
Yes.
people. I have
Yes.
like a common theme. I like to do that because for me, I like to make sure that whatever I do can at least cause a conversation if somebody actually take the time to listen to it. Because I appreciate anybody who listens to my music. Cause right now, I only really record music for soundtracks for the films that I'm producing, or so I don't really do music as a form of a way out of a situation, so to speak. I do it because I love it. First of all, my first passion, and because of the whole thing around it, when it comes to like when you're creating films, licensing music from other people, that could be a struggle too, and you need music in movies.
Yes.
So as an artist, I just decided to focus on making music, but focus on making music for films and stuff like
Well,
that.
and so for Team Collective, you have your own clothing apparel, right?
Yeah. Collective wear. Yeah. We do that too. Well, I mean, most of the stuff that is merch based that I do is just based on branding, making sure that the logo stays seen. For the most part, that's really what it is. People support, and I'm so appreciative of everybody that supports the brand. It's really dope. But for the most part, yeah, it's to help market and promote the brand. As always.
So we're going to talk about your films now because you do so much. You do your own movies and stuff. And I, had the pleasure of being in one. But before we talk about that, I watched Valet Ghost and Get Out Part 3.
Oh, you did?
And so it was just like, because I know since I've been, knowing you, like I know a lot of the people in there. But when I watched the one when y'all had the donuts, and I was thinking, how did y'all come up with that concept? Because I'm looking at it, I'm like, donuts. So I'm like, oh, so they like, okay, they're getting these packages together, but they got all these donuts. And then when next thing you know, all y'all was like knocked out.
Passed out. Yeah. Well, I wanted to play off of the edible
Right.
concept with edibles, and that's what made it so funny, because a lot of people who've ever taken edibles, they've always said that if it was, they took too much, they just don't
Right.
remember, they could be passed out. So I just wanted to use that as a means of just like finding something humorous in it without having to um actually like show the whole use of, because in marijuana there's such a stigma on it. Most people are not educated about it, and so
Exactly.
whenever you doing things in a sense of, even when you make fun of it, it kind of puts more of a damper on it. It's just like how people stereotype us as black people. Like they can make jokes about how we like fried chicken and all the other
Right.
stuff, but then if people keep
Right.
eating fried chicken all the time, of course it's gonna be bad for you. So it's
Right.
like that kind of concept, you know what I mean? Like, but we all know that it's still good. Like if you know what I'm saying? Like if you get it right, or people make it the right way, it's gonna be good. So that's what I say about the marijuana space. So we use different parts of it because it's typical for people to use the actual smoking portion of it. So yeah, that's just what it was, just to make
Yeah,
fun of
it was funny
the
because
film.
when y'all woke up, I was like, because at first I'm thinking, because I'm looking like I was trying to say donuts. I had my thought, but I was like, well, maybe that's not where they're going. And then once I saw everybody like knocked out, Dre in this chair, I'm thinking like,
Right?
it was so funny. But it was like,
Yeah.
y'all are so creative, but y'all nature, just being around y'all are funny, and y'all all gel together. And that's a beautiful thing, because a lot of times when you work with so many people, it's hard to gel because somebody is, feeling left out. But when
Yeah.
I've been around you guys, y'all gel together and y'all welcome everyone that plays a part in anything that you do. And it's
Sure.
always professional, and then I saw the one I did with the Bachelorette scene, and I was thinking, oh, that's dope, because the song you chose for it, I was like, yes, that's like one of my favorite songs. And just to, be a part of something like that, because you guys know that is so not me. That is so not me. And so
I
I
know.
appreciate just
I
being
know.
in there.
Yeah, because because
So, but
even when I asked you, you was like, you want me to do what? You want me to act? Like, yeah. I got this role for you. I think it'll be perfect. And yo, so I appreciate you for even coming through and doing it though, for real.
yeah, y'all really helped push me out of my box. And yeah, see, she is so amazing. You know, she's always encouraging me when I come and do stuff. And just to say I got it, because a lot of times, you know, especially, you know how it is when you're working with women, they don't want to help other women because they feel like it's taking something, you know, away from them. And she's never been that way from the day I met her. And that's the only way that I was able to, she was like, you got it, girl, you got it. Because like when I first came, I'm like, okay, I'm coming just to be a part of this. And then when you said, oh, well, you're going to play the Bachelorette, I'm like, wait, you know, but because I had those group of women with me, it made it easy. You know, it made it easy. And
Which
then
is good,
when
yeah.
we did the other scene, the bridals, like the dinner,
Yeah,
I was
yeah, yeah.
like, no. And then you telling me I gotta like play this part, and then you say I got a role to say. I'm like, Oh,
And
let me
it,
see.
but
She
you
said,
did great.
she said,
Yeah,
you are
you did
awesome.
great.
We appreciate you and support you. Thank you, love. But I'm telling you, like, just for people to believe in you, because you guys, this is something you do all the time. And just for
Right,
you to believe in me, just to say, hey, I want her to be a part of this, like, has truly
right,
been a blessing, because it took me out of my comfort zone, because, you know me well enough that I stay safe. You know,
right,
I stay
right,
safe,
right.
you know, and so I just have enjoyed it. And so when I see the movie, you know, Flame On, so tell us how you came up with that and that title.
Well, what I was doing was I started with the Vibe Out, but I had been doing music videos slash movies for a really long time. Like if
Mm-hmm,
anybody followed my career, like I've always tried to give us something different visually, just to kind of stand out as artists. So
mm-hmm,
I've been doing it, and then but this time I decided to run it as a series only because I just felt a need for a transition. I mean, I don't really know like what I thought the transition was going to be. I just knew that
mm-hmm.
I had to make a transition. And when we did the original Vibe Out music video, I incorporated a small intro to give it like a movie scene, but it was mostly music video. But then from that part, it just sparked everything else. Like it just sparked like, and for me, I ain't gonna lie, like I'm open to the universe. So as things come to me, I
Right,
process it and then I try it. You know what I mean? So I don't know. That's for me. That's for the most part. So whenever you say, how do you come up with it? It's just like I think I'm just more open to receiving information, and
mm-hmm.
um, and then not being afraid to try it. So even with a lot of the other productions, you know, it's a lot of things that I could do better. It's a lot of things I'm working on to get better. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so I use all this as a learning opportunity too. You know, I even when things are not perfect, I still put it out because, you know, whether it's good, positive feedback or negative feedback, it's that
Right,
somebody took
right,
the time to watch it, and then from the negative feedback, I'm able to decipher exactly how I can move forward. Because sometimes people will say something negative, and then but they don't give you the detail or what they mean by the negativity. They'll just say, "Oh, I
right.
ain't like that because of this," you know, or I can't hear this, or I couldn't hear that, and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, bet." But at the end of the day, it still gives me the tools I need to be sharper
Right,
as
right.
I continue to grow. You know what I mean? I don't, you know, if I was feeling like, yo, I already got it and it was all perfect and I threw it out there, then
Yeah, yeah,
I have no room to grow, you know? So,
exactly.
you know, and then so I like the space that I'm in because, you know, whether people like it, share it, support it or whatever at this level, it still gives me an opportunity to show growth as we go and you know, an ability to still learn.
And you know, you said something so profound, because a lot of times when people think they have arrived, they can't take the corrective criticism as, like you said, like a learning process. Because if I'm giving somebody something and I say maybe try it this way, I'm not saying that what you're doing is wrong. I'm just saying maybe try it this way. And a
Right.
lot of times I feel when we think we have arrived, then we can't produce what we want to produce. And so with that, how do you stay grounded and rooted in just being who you are, juggling family, work? How do you juggle all of that and still do what you're doing now?
I guess always remembering where you come from, and whenever
Exactly.
that you had situations in life that caused you to not have, or
Mm-hmm.
disadvantages and different things in life, you kind of don't want to waste the opportunities that you get. And I
Yeah,
think for
yeah.
me, most of all is just like being able to be humble enough to understand that you need help, but
Yes.
also being motivated enough to know that people are not going to pat you on the back every
No,
time you
no.
feel like you've done something that
Mm-hmm.
was
Mm-hmm.
creative or something that you thought may have helped other people. You're not
Mm-hmm.
going to get that instant gratification. And I think that's for the most part about what I do, is that I don't look for the instant gratification. I don't,
Yeah,
if people are part of the projects I do, whether they share it or support it or not, I
exactly.
still do every day as if it didn't matter. Like, I'm not the guy that's sitting back like, yeah, I created this, I did that. Yeah, y'all go ahead and do it. No, I'm
Yeah,
doing it
yeah,
like if
yeah,
nobody else is there. Like I'm playing
yes,
every character. That's how much I do it. So, um,
yeah.
that's another thing too, that it could be very like when you're creative and you're doing things that you feel like you just want to share with people. It can get
Right.
really, really discouraging whenever
Mm-hmm.
you see that people are not really appreciating what it is that you're trying to do. And I don't mean by people as far as like the audience. I mean just like the people you
Mm-hmm.
involve in the
Right.
project that you do, because some
Mm-hmm.
people feel like just their presence enough was good enough for them to be a part of it. But when we say, yo, when it comes down to the marketing part, why don't you put that same enthusiasm in the projects that you've been in?
Exactly.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? Like, don't just share yourself. Like, share your work. Like, share something different about you.
Mm-hmm.
So people would know that it's a lot more to you than just social media. Have people really feeling like everybody's life is perfect. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
so
And it's funny that you say that because, people, and like again with me, I am such a private person, but since I started doing, Hot Topics with Donna, I've learned to be transparent because like you said, we can write whatever we want on Facebook and all this kind of stuff, but at the end of the day, when we're in our homes, we're still suffering. And it's okay when you don't have it all together. And that's what I tell people.
exactly.
Only because you don't have it together doesn't mean you're a failure. It's just that, hey, let somebody, reach back and say, hey, I got you.
Facts. And I think that's the biggest part about everything that you do is like, when sometimes when you're given things and you feel like it's a part of your purpose, it's just everybody just not meant to go. Like you're gonna be tested, like no matter what.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
if you really want
Yeah.
what you say you want, you're gonna be tested. And a lot of times you're gonna be tested by the people that are closest to you because they're the ones that could get to you the most.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So even if whether you don't have support from your main foundation or whether you don't support yourself, because for the most part,
Mm-hmm.
when you're creative, you have to be willing to go out there and do it yourself. You can't be a
Yeah.
person that's always looking for other people to do it for you. You gotta be willing to step out there and do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like for the most part, like even one of the characters I play Vampire from Jersey, right?
Right.
Stupidest character ever. But for the most part, when people that know me personally, they be
Right.
like, yo, Rod Craig, like they don't look at it like, you know what I'm saying? Like this dude is really trying too hard. They look at it like, yo, this
Right.
dude is bugging because they know the type of personality I have. I'm not gonna walk around with
Right.
a cape.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, if I did that, it's because, it's like, don't take me so serious. I'm not taking life so serious. So let's find a happy medium
Right.
with all the stuff that we got going on in the world,
So what do you what is your next project you working on now? Like, because a lot of your stuff is on YouTube. If you want to see their, they short films is on YouTube.
Right.
And I like the one when y'all did with the little boy in the car, but then he was like there, but he wasn't there.
The Ballet Ghost. Yeah, that's the
So
most
how
recent
did you
one.
come up with, yeah, how did you come up with that? And then I'll tell you, I think it was Dre when the lady was dancing.
Oh, that was
And
me.
then when you, okay, then you went in when they came out, you was
Yeah,
still dancing in the hallway, and I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
because
Well,
I'm gonna tell you, it's really brilliant how you think of stuff like that, because it makes
wow,
you. I watched it, I was engaged because every scene you was like, okay, what's gonna happen, and then it's like, ah,
it's crazy.
what do
Well,
you
I'm
do?
I'm thankful. Yeah, I'm thankful that you even see it that way, because most people be so critical over art. Like they'll watch it and
Yes,
then they'll look for everything wrong. Like they
yeah,
won't even take it like how you explaining it right now. They'll be like, "Hey man,
yeah.
this, that, and the third." It's like, well, dang. I mean, like, come on. You know what I'm saying? Like, did you like anything? Like, did you like any part of it, or it's just that these parts bothered you so much that that's the only thing that you saw? So, but no, but for the most part, the Ballet Ghost thing was something I came up with. Actually, it was supposed to be a 2-day shoot. And just say
Angie want to know. Angie. Rashid, tell them where they can go find it at. She wants to know where. What's the name of the film and what's the network?
Oh, gotcha. So well, if you want in the comments, I can just go ahead and share my link. And
Yeah,
then
do that, please.
they could go in there and they could just check everything out.
Yeah.
So let's do that real quick. I'm not
Yeah, but
hiding.
no, if you watch the film, you have to, like you said, you have to watch it without going in and be like, okay, well, what are they gonna do? You know. And so, but how did you get the kid to and who was the kid? How did you get the kid to play his role?
Oh no, that was my nephew. So
Oh,
I
okay.
include, I include my nieces and nephews. Well, I try,
Okay.
in the projects I did, because I had two of my nephews and my niece in the Flame On movie, and then
Mm-hmm.
that guy and the one I had in the recent one, that's my nephew too. So yeah, I try to be active in my nieces and nephews' lives as much as possible that I have
That's
access
awesome.
to, because it's important for me. You know what I mean? To make
Yes.
sure that
Yes.
they understand, and then that I include them, so that way when it come down to it and they say, you know, because they all call me Uncle Rara. So if they say I'm mean, or if they say, yo, he's serious, or he's this, they'll know, because it's like, yo, I'm actually trying to hope that I could spark something in y'all to cause y'all to maybe want to do something a little extra than just hanging out with your friends and stuff as you go. So I get them when they
Exactly.
little. I don't
Yes.
play. I
Yes.
be on them when they little. I don't play at all. So all of them, I be on them. So yeah, I mean, as much as I can, I'm including them in everything that I'm doing. That I can, put them in. Going
Right.
forward,
Right.
it's almost like a force thing too. Like even if they
Yeah.
don't want to talk, you're gonna be in it anyway, because, or you're gonna hold a light, or you're gonna hold a mic, or you're gonna do something,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
that's what it is. That's what I'm doing it for. I'm doing it for all of them. Generational
Yeah.
wealth is like the main goal of mine. So yeah, I gotta
Yeah.
include it. So yeah, that was my little nephew.
And we have to teach our children at a young age that you can achieve whatever you want, but it takes work, instead of just always playing on the video games, because sometimes we as parents allow the video games to babysit our children. And
Fact.
then when they go to school, they got attitudes, and then they get caught up in the world, and the world sucks them up.
Yes,
And Angie
exactly.
said that's good. It opened doors for them. You're right, Angie. It does. And when I saw it, I was like, I wonder how he got him to play that part, because that was
Yeah,
funny
yeah,
in itself. Because y'all was tripping, he was in the car, and then y'all was like, "No, we ain't gonna drive this car with this kid in here." And then next thing you
yeah.
know, he ain't in there.
Right,
So
right, right. Yeah,
yeah,
it's my nephew for the most part. Yeah, I try to use them. Well, I'm staying on them. So yeah, it was my
yes,
nephew.
yes, yes. So what roadblocks have you faced since you've been doing the film, doing your short films? You know,
Oh man, a lot. I mean, I don't even know where to start. Or it could be from locations, last minute
right.
location changes, to last minute no shows. Like you have
Mm-hmm.
a scene set up, the shoot, and you have
Mm-hmm.
certain people for certain scenes, and then they might not, like 20 minutes before they have to be there, and they're not coming. So
Right,
you have
right,
to rearrange things, and so
right.
it's a struggle. It's always. I think that when you have those really great days where everything just clicking on set,
Mm-hmm.
or whatever you're
Mm-hmm.
doing, and those days that's not, you appreciate the days that it do. Because
Right.
I promise you, if you ever had all your sets or everything just working out for you, one time that it don't, you're going to crash. You're going to probably lose all your friends and everybody that came because you don't know how to react. So for me, I'm thankful that, you know,
Right.
along the lines of the projects I've been doing, it's, you know, they've been a
Right.
struggle at some points. Or not all of them, but for the most part, most of them, yeah, it's been some type of
Right.
rearranging, readjustment. Oh man, that ain't working no more. Or that's completely dead. Oh man, that takes too long. Or oh, that don't have. Oh man, we got to move over here. Oh man, so
Yeah,
this
because I
person.
know when we
So, what you was gonna say? You say you know when what? Can you hear me?
Are you still there?
Yeah,
I
I'm
think he
here. Is
froze.
it
I think
frozen
he
again?
froze. But I hope you guys are enjoying
Oh,
Rasheed Myers. Hopefully he will. If he doesn't come back on, I might have to go back out and we can start this over. So if someone can text him and tell him that I'm gonna go off and come back on, you guys come back. Please come back on. I'm gonna send him. Hold on. Let me see if I got him. Yes. Okay. Thank you guys for joining. Like I said, we always have technical difficulties, but it's all good. He's
hello.
back. Yeah, I'm here.
Oh,
Yeah,
hold on.
but
I
but
did.
when you shot the flame on the bridal dinner or whatever,
Uh-huh.
it was amazing how it just flowed, you know, because I was so afraid that I'm like, I'm going to, and for me inside, I was like, I don't want to be the one that mess up and we have to start back over.
Right, right,
And that's
right.
the whole thing I was thinking the whole time. I was like, I don't want to be the one to mess up. I was like, if somebody else mess up, like, whew, it won't be me. But I was like, I was so nervous because when I came and you was like, it's going to be scripted. And I was like, but you gave it to me and I was able to receive it. And like I said, you have such a passion for when you're working with people. You're not arrogant. You just make people feel comfortable and everything just flows together. And the atmosphere is always on point, you know.
Thank you. Thank you. I
And that's
appreciate that.
something you don't see a lot when people are doing something. Yeah.
Sure, I appreciate
You
that.
don't
Yeah, I
see it a
appreciate
lot
that.
because a lot of times people, like you said, people is like, it's about me, it's my project, so you do what I say, and you never have that attitude. You know, you always making sure everybody's good and everybody's comfortable. And sometimes people don't do that because they get the big head and they like, well, this is the way it's going to go. But you know, when it's time to get serious, you still know how to say we got to get serious, but you know how to deliver it without being rude and arrogant.
Right.
And I just
Yeah,
thank you
yeah,
for
yeah.
that because
Oh,
that's
I
why I
appreciate
don't do a
that.
lot of stuff because people be that way.
Gotcha. Yeah, yeah. No, I've been in a lot of places where people don't act like, you know, act their wage, so to speak. But yeah, I mean, but
Yeah.
that's the biggest part about everything, man. If you could be humble, um, more things will come to you versus, you know, going away from you. If you just be humble
Right.
and
Right.
realize everybody is there, they could be somewhere else. You know what I mean? Like they don't have to come. Like, and all of you guys show up. And that's the thing. Like, even when I have times where people show or last minutes and stuff like that, it don't trump all the times that people actually do come. And it's all
Right.
and
Right.
it'll be a group of guys. Like people come and I'm just so thankful. So yeah, that's why I try to
Yeah.
make sure everybody good because I want them to work with me again because the more it grows, the more I'm reaching back. And I think that's the one thing that a lot of people don't understand too when you work with people from the
Yeah.
ground level. Like you may look at them now and be like, yeah, I don't really like what they're doing. It ain't really that cool, whatever. And that's cool because you should only be in
Right.
stuff that you
Right.
feel like you like. But then at the end of the day, don't be the people in the background that's waiting for it to pop. Then you want to try to use
Right.
your friend card or your I know them card to try to get some shine.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
no. Then when I say no or when a no come your way, you won't be up. You can't be upset because you ain't take the opportunity to believe in it from the ground up. So yeah, I'm humble because everybody that come to my productions, when it all said and done, and it come back around and I reach back out to them, I want them to want to come. I don't want them to come because now I can pay them a whole lot of money. I want them to come because they like, yo, I want to be a
Exactly.
part of this because I was a part of, the short films and the skits and the da da da
Yes.
da and the
Yes.
music videos and photo
And
shoots.
that's like I told you, like I'm ready. Like whatever you do, like I'm just ready to step outside of my box because once because we always limit ourselves and say I can't
So,
do this, and I am guilty of that because I like to stay safe. But when I did it, I really felt empowered. Not in an arrogant
wow.
way, but I just felt empowered because I'm like, I can do this.
Yeah.
And
Especially
so
when you see
that's why,
yourself back. When you see yourself back on camera, because if you're around the wrong people, see some people that really do acting, and that's what they do.
right.
Or people who actually do music, that's what they do. When other people who don't really know that they got that, they don't know. They just
Mm-hmm.
always wonder. I wonder if I can, if I don't. They don't know, and
Right,
then when
right.
they finally get that opportunity to either get in a recording studio or get into doing
Yes,
some type of project where
yes,
they can see themselves, then it's
yeah.
like, oh, yeah, it's so much. We don't know until we try, you know. So that's why I reach out to
Yeah, and that's how I was. When I saw myself, I was like, whoa.
people. And so, yeah, man, just stay with it. I hope you keep coming out.
Yeah, I'm just gonna spread my wings and not, shy away from, trying to act or whatever. So I think he's freezing up. Are you there?
Yeah,
Okay.
man.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah. And so, like I said, I want to try more, because the next time I do it, I may be able to do more than just a little snippet. But I
Yeah,
felt when
yeah,
I
yeah.
saw when I saw the bachelorette scene, that's, because I'm like, I didn't think I had it
Yeah,
in me. But when I saw myself, I was like, I can do this,
yeah. And I think for
with
me
people
that
pushing
don't
you
really.
and people believing in you. Huh?
No, I said, yeah, that's cool.
I
That
can't
I
hear you.
mean, I feel you.
Yeah, it was amazing to see myself because I was like, wow. It was just like, okay.
That's good, man. I'm glad. I'm very glad that you came out. And like I said,
I,
oh, and can you hear me?
I can.
Oh, you can? All right. Can you see me though? Is it still
Yeah,
messing
I
up?
can.
I don't have my Wi-Fi on it. Hopefully it'll be all right. But
I can
no,
hear
I was
you.
gonna. Oh, okay, yeah, I was gonna say no. That's why I don't really do a whole lot of script. Like I don't give people because it makes
Mm-hmm.
people even more nervous because then they feel like they got to be perfect,
Right.
and then that's
Right.
when you got to do a whole bunch of takes and a whole bunch of da 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 because then they
Yeah.
left one word out. They didn't say that. It's like it's too much. I'd rather give people what I want them to do and then let them be them natural selves in that lane. And then
Right.
I don't have to do a whole lot of takes. That's why for me, I'm gonna say it. Hopefully a lot of other people will take that one particular notion too, is that even if you're gonna give people whole scripts, or if you want to give them something for them to study as if that's what you want them to say, you got to
Right.
remember this is going to add on to your recording time because people, like you said, Donna, you don't want to mess up.
Right.
It's a natural instinct for those
Mm-hmm.
that get in front of the camera. That's the main
Mm-hmm.
thought in their mind is not messing up, and it shouldn't be. The main
Yeah.
thought in their mind shouldn't even be that. It should be whatever the character they're in, not whether they're
Yeah.
going to mess up or not. Because how can you mess up something that nobody knows what you're doing anyway? You know
Exactly.
what I mean?
Exactly.
When the audience see that film, they ain't gonna know that you said something wrong.
You're
They
right.
they, they don't know. You gotta stay in character, and most people don't know how to do that when they read scripts. I've been on so many scenarios when people read scripts, and these people are shooting these scenes
Mm-hmm.
1,000 times because
Yeah.
it's one word, or oh they didn't say this, or they left that out because the writers be so particular about wanting things said a certain way.
Right.
And then they limit themselves because the person that they have as a character in their real life, they probably would have said it totally different. That would have sounded way better than what you had on the paper for somebody else. You know, once you give people a character base. So I learned that a long time ago studying other filmmakers like Spike Lee and all these other people.
Right,
I
right.
studied all them, and you know, they had people what they call line producers. They wouldn't even give the actors a script. They would just give the person a line. They would say line, the person would read it. They would read it a couple times, and then they would yell action and get the scene.
Yeah,
Because that's how they wanted to save on budget. But then you
exactly.
have people who are so much quote unquote professional filmmakers, they want to be like Hollywood and feel like they're going to do 1,000 scenes because that's what they do in Hollywood, and that's
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
Like you don't have to do that. Like
But
you know what I mean?
my scene was perfect for me. It was so my
Like,
personality.
there it
You
is.
know.
So that's why I asked. And then that's why I was able to feed it to you. You was able to roll with it because it was something that came natural to you. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, I've been in scenarios around all of y'all, and I've been able to see y'all in different emotions.
Right.
So it was like, oh yeah, I know Donna could play this. You know what I mean? Like, okay, she
Yeah.
could do that. And then I just ease people in. I don't give them a whole lot when I know they scared or not scared or nervous. I try to give
Well,
them enough.
I was nervous and
You know
you
what I
took
mean?
a chance, but the part was me. So, you know, like even during the bachelorette scene, you know, because it was fun, I'm just that person. But then when I had to do, you know, like the dinner, that was so me. That was so in my element. So that's why I was able to do it. And then Brent was able to just say, you got it, because I had never worked with him before. I didn't even know he was going to be
Gotcha.
my fiance. So it's like I met him the day of the
The
shoot,
filming.
but
Yeah.
we just had that chemistry that it just worked. And
Right.
you know,
Right.
I remember one of the cast members or whatever, when him and I was playing our part, and they said, now they playing that role too good. Like they act like they, you know, like a couple and know each other. But it was because it was in my element, and it's because of who he was. And he was like, just go with it. Don't give it a lot of thought. Just do it. And
And
that's how I
that
was
was great
able to
too.
do it.
That's great too. Yeah, I mean that's really good, especially people who've been on bigger sets like Yessie and like Brent. You know, on those
Yes,
shoes, those two have been on way bigger sets and way
yes,
bigger
yes.
productions. So when people like that like reach out and kind of reassure people, it helps me out too, especially when they're on set because I have this undoubting belief in people. Like I already believe people could do it. But people don't be believing in themselves. They be like, yo, I
Yeah,
don't know. I be like, yeah, you got this. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna go out here. Just like when we did the bachelorette scene, I said, yo, here's the camera. This is the scene. Set it up. Let them go. I'm gonna go out here and I'm gonna figure this other thing out. I didn't even
right,
watch y'all do the scene because I wanted to
right.
make sure that you and the rest of the girl, because believe it or not, besides Yessie, everybody else, that was their first time acting too.
Yeah. Well, I was
So,
nervous because I
you
came with
know,
the mindset, I'm just coming to be an extra. I'm good, you know. So, because you reached out to me, I was like, I'm gonna be an extra, and I'm just gonna be good. And then they were like,
yep,
well, you know, you plan to bride to be. I was like, no, 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 no. But they so just like, you got this. Don't think about
yeah,
it. And then once we got into our flow, it was just perfect because, like I said, that's just how they were. You know, they were amazing,
yeah.
and they made it easy because I'm like, no, y'all just
And now look
me.
at you. You got your own show now. You in
Yes,
front of the
yes,
camera every week, it look like. So, it helped out a lot. And I'm glad I was
it
able to get
did, it
you.
did. It did.
Well,
And you know, and that's why I wanted you on here because like I said, I don't take what people do for me lightly. I don't. And I stay, you know, humble and you know, and like I said, the purpose of Hot Topics with Donna is to showcase that people are doing amazing things, you know, because
right,
COVID has got us in such an uproar, you know, that we miss what people are doing in the communities, you know, and there may be some people that may want to reach out to you and say, hey, I want to try this, you know, just film, you know, thing.
right,
And when we
yeah,
don't reach back and grab people, that's where we miss the mark. You know,
yep,
we miss the mark when we don't
yeah,
reach back and say, I believe in you because you guys, you know, we had, you know, met before, but not
yeah,
on the level as far as like trying to do a film, you know,
yeah,
but you guys
sure,
saw something in me and say, well, hey, I'm gonna see, because I like to
Yeah.
make sure I do things decent and in order, and I like to make sure it's right, because I feel like if I failed you, it's like you just like, no, y'all doing this, but
Yeah.
now I'm doing it, so I don't want to fail. And in my head, I'm thinking I'm gonna get this because I don't want to let people down. That's dependent on me to
Gotcha.
deliver this part.
That's
And
good.
so that's why
That's a great
sometimes in my
mentality to
head I
have,
was
yo.
thinking, okay, remember your line, and you come over there and tell me my line, and in my head I'm like, but it was just an amazing experience, because I tend to stay safe with what I feel
Right.
I need to stay safe with. But with you guys, you push me out and say it's okay not to be safe. Okay, we're back. We're back. Okay, so he got disconnected again. I think we're having a bad connection. But if he gets back on, we're gonna wrap it up anyway. But I have been interviewing Rasheed Myers out of Raleigh, North Carolina. He put his information in the comment section, where you can go look at some of their films that they are doing and have done. He's just an amazing person, a talented guy. So just check him out. And like I said, I am so thankful just to have had a part and played a part in, what he's doing in that setting, as far as being, a producer, music and that sort. So I am going to see if we can get him back on before we close out this session. But like I said, it's just a great experience. You have people that you can trust, and they believe in what you're doing. So before we freeze up again, tell people um, how they can contact you if you post things up that may be looking for casting, and how do you choose your casting members?
Oh, okay. Well, right now I just ask people personally.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really have a lot of people that reach out and say they want to be a part of it. I hope maybe
Okay.
hopefully down the road people are, they do it. But right now, I just actually personally just reach out to people myself, like, and just ask them, or I have somebody that may be a little closer to them that may,
Mm-hmm.
ask them for me. But
Mm-hmm.
for the most part, that's just what I'm doing right now. And if they want to get in contact with me, I have a link. I mean, I have a link tree, and I'll put it up in
Okay.
the comments here, and people can go
Okay.
there and they can get all my information. They can watch the movies personally. They can listen to the music. They can go to the
Yeah.
YouTube, subscribe there, Facebook or whatever, and then just keep in contact. And if people are really interested in any of the things that I'm doing, and they want to, get some work, just let me know, and then we could chop it up. Because certain people, like right now, mostly everybody that we use are people that I kind of know somewhat. There's a few
Right.
people
Right.
that
Right.
I don't really know that's been in some of the projects. So, and we all get along. So yeah, I'm open to people.
Yes.
I just haven't actually did
And
casting calls yet.
well, I'm waiting for the next project you have for me.
Oh,
You
it's
yes,
coming.
see, so
Oh, it's
I know
coming.
it's coming. I know you pushed me in my box, but I want to tell you the video that we did in the garage. It was awesome because I've never been in a set like that. So that in
Right.
itself was like, because you see these videos like you rolling up on videos like with Trey and all of them, you rolling up with your cars, and then I was like, oh wow, like this is wow, because that's how you set the scene up, and it was just everything you're teaching is like I've never been in this, so everything I'm doing is out of my box, but it was a good
Wow.
vibe, and like everybody that you choose, they're always so on point. Everybody's so on
Wow.
point, and it just flowed, and that's what I like, because I know myself, I don't do drama, and so
Right.
I stay away from that. But every set that I've been on there with you, everything has been 100.
Wow.
And
Yeah, I
most
appreciate
people
that.
can't say that. Most people
Right.
can't say that.
Wow. I appreciate that a lot. For real. I
Yeah,
do.
yeah, yeah. But y'all have really taught me a lot about who I am and finding that other inner me, to say, I
Right.
can do it. Just you have to take a chance and just believe in yourself, and you can do it. And I really thank God that I allow myself to be open to it instead of being
Right.
like, no, I'm not going to try, because then I shortchange myself in the end.
True.
You know?
We all do. Fear is the #1 dream killer.
Angie said, what content genre are you looking for?
Oh, right now I'm just producing comedy right now. Eventually I'm gonna get into the full-length films, and a little bit later in the fall, and I'll be doing like more like comedy drama, so dramedy type things. I'm kind of staying in that lane right now. It's
Oh
a
yeah,
couple of
I
other
probably could do
projects that
some
came through
comedy.
that'll be a
I
little bit
probably
more
could do some
dramatic.
comedy.
Yeah. But I'm staying in the comedy lane right now just because
Yeah.
it helps out a lot with just everything going on, and then you don't have to have a whole lot of extra special effects and da 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 and all this other stuff in order to create
No.
something that's, that could be a classic, so yeah, I'm
Right,
staying in that
right.
lane right now. Yeah, I'm staying in the comedy lane right now. So with that,
Well,
Angie Lee, yeah, I'm
yeah,
staying in
Angie
comedy
Allison.
lane.
She's gonna be on next week. She's an author from Maryland. She lives in Maryland.
Okay,
Yeah, you're
gotcha.
right, Angie. You know, people need that. But like I said, the way you're going, like I laugh. I be at work and I have my earbuds in and I will watch it and I try not to laugh out loud. But like you said,
Wow.
it's just so refreshing to be like, wow, because I see y'all, I know y'all, but just to see you in that setting, like on film, like it's
Yeah,
like these people are amazing. Y'all just doing your thing. You just doing your
appreciate
thing, and
that.
I just so thankful that I'm a part of it, because when I come, I do feel like I'm a part of you guys' family, and I
Yeah, for
just
sure.
I just say thank you, because like I said, I
Yeah,
didn't realize
definitely.
we went back a long, long time with MM7. I was like, dang, that's been a long time. Like what,
Exactly.
2012, 13?
Yeah,
Long time.
yeah.
So
It's been a long time, and I'm
yes,
so thankful that, still be able to keep great relationships, because a lot of people are not able to do that throughout the
yes.
course of the year, especially in this entertainment business. A lot of people
Mm-hmm.
at some point they have some, fallouts, burnt bridges, and everything else.
Yeah,
I've just been
yeah.
blessed to be able to. I don't have any of those things that's going on in none of the places that I've been. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that's just a blessing, and I thank God for that, because, like I said, it's not really too many people that tell me no. Now they may not show up, but they told me yeah. So I'm thankful, and I always say that to everybody. That's why I always make sure everybody know that I appreciate them personally.
You
Whenever they
do,
come,
you
I try to
do.
make sure they get a shirt, something. I try to make sure they got food, whatever, just to make
Yes,
sure that I
and that
appreciate
you do. Yes.
every time somebody come. Um, and yeah, man, I mean, that's just the biggest thing, man. It's just staying humble, yo. That's it.
Yeah, Angie said congratulations. Love to see Black film artists, directors, and producers. That you're right. And
Thank you.
you are humble anyway. That's just from even when just doing the photo shoot. You haven't changed. And
Thank
I
you.
can't say that about a lot of people, that because I've been doing, modeling since 2012. And I can honestly say you have not changed your
Wow.
personality, who you are, since I've met you. And
Wow.
you
Thank
don't
you.
get that. You don't get that. And that's
Wow.
why
Thank you.
whenever we reach out and say, hey, can you do this? We doing this. That's why I don't hesitate to work with you guys, because of who you are.
Wow.
Because if
Thank you.
you make me feel some type of way, or make me feel like I'm not, worthy to be in your company, I just can just like, no, I don't want to do it. But I can
True.
honestly say you have never made me feel less than. None of your cast members or anybody have made me feel less than. And that's why
Wow.
I don't mind coming and working, with you guys.
Yeah,
And
and I
that's on the,
appreciate that so much, yo. I
yeah,
really do.
yeah,
I appreciate that
yeah,
so much, because most people, you'd be surprised how many people don't actually tell you how they feel, when it comes
yeah,
to things like that,
yeah,
and I'm
yeah,
thankful, man, like for real, because
yeah.
you never know how you impacting on how you
You
affect people
don't.
unless they tell you. You
You
know what I
don't.
mean? So I just appreciate the fact that you even, take the time to even, consider those things. So thank you so much.
Yeah, see, thank you. I mean, she is such a beautiful person. So I know I will be reaching out to her, because she is one person that you know, even though she's, you know, did bigger, you know, films or whatever, but she still stay humble as well. And sometimes when people
Yeah.
get up there, they be like, I don't want to mess with the little people, but that just goes to show you how people character and how when you love what you do and you have Christ and you love Christ, then you treat people accordingly how you want to be treated.
And that's a
And
fact.
that's why everything you do, God bless it. He adds some more. He adds some more. But when we get
Yeah.
arrogant and think that we have arrived, people don't want to work with you. And I tell everybody, I want my character to speak for itself.
True. True.
Because you
Yep.
don't know who's watching you. You don't know
At
who's
all.
watching you.
Right.
You don't. You know, it's not that we're going to be perfect, but it means that you're not out here trying to shit people or to get over on
Exactly.
people to get what you want and knowing
Exactly.
that you do.
Exactly.
So, but you don't do that. You guys, you don't do that. And that's why I say I tell people how I feel because people need to know. Because sometimes when we do entertainment or sometimes you just need somebody to say, I see you. Not that we need validation, but it makes you feel good to know that people are watching you and they're appreciating what you're doing.
Right.
Because
And I'm
people can
thankful.
tell us how bad we're doing, but they can't never tell us how good we're doing.
Yeah. Now I hear that all the time. Now, if I hear anything, somebody will tell you quick what's wrong. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
especially
yeah,
people who never even done what you do. Like no people who never done a film, a short film, a video, a skit, nothing. And they
yeah,
always will tell you what's wrong. Like they'll be like, yo, you know, this part, that part. I'm like, yo, all right, cool. But then like, damn, like did you like anything? Like, yo, oh yeah. But they don't want to tell you that part. You know what I mean? Like you'll be
exactly.
surprised how many people, yeah, you'd be surprised how many people, because then it's a thin line between that, because what people want you to do, people want you to accept their negativity of what they think of you.
Right,
Because then
right,
they say, "Oh, you can't take constructive criticism." But people don't understand that constructive criticism is constructive. Some people
right.
just criticize. Like
Yeah, yeah,
like if a person said, "Yo, I don't like this part," but then they don't offer the
right,
solution, like, "Yo, maybe you should try XYZ." And then you'd be like, okay,
right.
bet. Have you done it before? And then they'd be like, oh, no.
Mhm.
So it's like, well, then what are you talking about? Like, why? Like,
Exactly.
how can you say, yo, yeah, y'all should do this, that, and the third, and then be like, all right, bet. So have you done it? And they say no. And it's
No.
like,
Yeah, yeah,
well,
yeah,
and then that's where it comes into a thing like, well, yo, I can't even take you seriously about your criticism
yeah,
because
yeah.
whatever your opinion is because you don't do it. You know what I'm
Exactly,
saying? Like,
exactly,
and you can't, and you haven't. So your opinion is not that important. It's like I appreciate
exactly.
it because you took the time to watch it. But like when people
Yes.
really want you to sit in on their opinion of you, they want you to really
Mhm.
sit down on it. Like what they're saying about you, you just got to take it
Yes.
because that's how they
Yeah.
feel. It's like no, like yo, if you ain't
No,
like something,
no.
no. Like
And
if
that's
you
just
don't like
like
something, that's
that would be
totally
like me.
fine. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, coming
thank
on your
you for
set,
watching.
trying to tell you how to do your stuff, and I ain't never act before. Like,
It's like, yo, you ain't never done it? Okay, so bet. You just speaking from a fan standpoint? It's like, all right, bet. So you speaking from that place? Okay, then it's not criticism. It's an opinion.
right? Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if it's
yeah.
constructive, if it's constructive, you should be able to explain why you didn't like something and maybe offer a
Exactly,
suggestion of how it could be better.
exactly,
You don't just
exactly.
focus in on this is what it is and that's it. You know, like and that's how it's a difference. And people don't get that because they only want you to accept. But and 9 times out of 10, these people can't accept. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
because some people scared to even try to do a film or try to edit or
yeah.
because they worried about what people think. You know what I
What
mean?
people
I just
gonna say?
happen to be a person that don't care about what people think. I happen to be a person that says, I'm gonna try it regardless. Now, if everybody don't like it, okay, then somebody that don't like it can at least say, yo, Rod, try this. And let's
Right,
get
right.
better. You know what I'm saying? On the next one, I can get
Yeah,
better. But people want to kill your dream. It's almost like they give
yeah,
you an opinion or a criticism. It's
yeah,
like you should
yeah.
stop doing everything you're doing because of them. Like, no, yo. It's like, no, it's
But
billions of people out here.
do you find sometimes that it's best because sometimes since I've been doing, like with my mentor organization and stuff like that, sometimes I've learned to move in silence. And then the next thing you know, boom. Because, I had been advertising Hot Topics with Donna, and, I got people inboxing me, well, what is hot? Because automatically they're thinking it's something sexual or, because of the title, and so a lot of people
Right.
probably didn't think I was going to do this, and they were like, "What is it? Like what are you going to be talking about? Come on and see."
Yeah,
We're
just
not
come
on
by.
here like it's not like we're airing people dirty laundry because it's hot. It's honest, open, and transparent. Because a lot of
Right.
times we don't want to be that way, And so
Exactly.
I'm like you. I don't care what people say about me because once I knew who I am in Christ, at the end of the day, I'm good.
Exactly.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Because if
Yeah.
I allow people to make me feel less than, then I won't do what I want to do. I
And
want,
that's a fact.
try different stuff. I wouldn't have came out and tried to do those films, with you guys, because I'll be worried about, oh, what are they going to say? And it's even sometimes your friends, it's even sometimes your family. So it's always like the
Yeah.
naysayers don't want you to do it because they don't have the confidence to step out of their box to do it.
Exactly. And that's how it
So,
always goes. That's why criticism, when people call it that, or constructive criticism, you got to understand where the source is coming from. That way you don't take it personally,
right.
because some people are going to find something wrong with whatever you do. It doesn't matter how, it
Exactly.
could be perfect down to the T to you, and somebody will still
Mm-hmm.
say, yo, well, this wasn't right. It's the smallest things, because people are not happy within themselves. So I feel
No,
like, to reach an audience that's okay with laughing at themselves.
exactly.
That's
Exactly.
the way I present. That's why the way I present the films that I'm in, or the ones that I produce, I present it as if to say, "Yo,
Yes.
I'm laughing at me." Like, if
Yes.
you can't
Yes.
laugh at you, or if your life is just so serious that you can't make
Yes.
fun of
Yes.
yourself, then
Yes.
there's no need for you to be criticizing anybody of
Yes.
anything, because you can't even find the humor in your own self, because nobody's perfect.
No,
And I
no,
and I,
you're
and I
not.
play on that. And you know what I'm saying? I stand on that with why I'm choosing comedy as like the main genre that I'm focused on right now, because there's no such thing as perfection. So I don't want to be perfect.
I
I want to
enjoy
be.
watching those films because I did laugh. And it was like, you get the storyline. Even though it's funny, you get it. I would say, if you're serious, you won't get it. But if you allow
Exactly.
yourself to be free, you'll get it. Because
Yeah,
it's still funny, but it still had a storyline.
exactly. And it also gives people the opportunity too to look at catalog as well. So somebody may look at Flame On and be like, well, this looks like it's a continuation of something. Like, what was it before? And then they say, yo, go look at it, blah, blah. Then they go watch it in order. So that's my biggest joy, is when it comes to
Right.
those three that, they watched it in order. They watched the Vibe Out, the remix, and then they went to Flame On. And then they got the storyline all the way through. Even though they were, different songs that we were
Yes.
standing on,
Yes.
they still offered one storyline, and I'm
Yeah.
continuing that
Yeah.
storyline. So even you, like, so I have the next one coming up with all of y'all. Your character
Right.
comes back, and then your support cast comes back, but this
Right.
time it's gonna be something totally different. We still gonna crash y'all again,
I'm
but
ready. I'm
the thing,
ready.
the thing is, though, I've been doing the short skits too, in between the
Yeah.
short films, so that way I can stay working on my craft as far as editing is concerned, because I edit everything myself. So if people don't like something or do like something, it's fine. But you can't blame nobody in the cast as far as the way it come out, but me. And I'll take that, because I edit it all myself. I stay up hours
But you know
upon
what?
hours in front of
Practice,
this
the more
computer.
you learn, the better you get. And
Yeah,
like you said, if you're going to come with something, make sure you come in to offer me something to show me how to do it a better way, instead of trying to critique and say, well, you could do it this way. But when we did that bachelorette scene, when I watched it, I could play everything back in my head when we were filming it.
right. That's
Because when I
ain't
saw
that
it, I
crazy?
didn't know that when I saw it, I was like, oh, they got this blackout. But then I got even hyped because I was like, that's the song. I love that song. But it was
Yeah,
funny. I every scene, every scene, it just played back in my head, and I got tickled because it was funny. You know, it was funny, and I was like,
Yeah.
wow. It was it
And
was
that's
it
great
was
too, because you
awesome.
were actually there, so you knew, like you knew what was
Yes,
coming up whenever it came up, and you were actually there to see it, and it still
yeah,
caught you,
yeah,
you know, with a real
yeah,
emotion. So I'm thankful. I
yeah,
mean, look,
yeah,
like I said, if the people don't tell me, I don't know how these
yeah,
things affect people. You know, I don't know how
yeah,
people view it, you know, or how they look at it, or if they really laugh, unless they let me know. And
yeah,
you know, I'm just
yeah.
thankful for the people who actually take the time out to let me know whether they like it or not.
Yes,
So thank you
yes,
so much.
yeah. Because you know, when we did it, I was thinking it was still going to be in the scene like it was. I didn't know it was gonna have like a backdrop and it was just gonna be us when y'all came out. And it was so funny because when Yessie was doing it, talking about the big stick, I mean, I just laughed because we had our own little inside jokes before we even got started. And just to see
Exactly.
it, I was just like, boy, it was just funny because I'm like, dang, like we actually did this because everything
Yeah.
played back. How we laughed, we had to get ourselves together. You know, people was going out trying to find security. You know, it's all that stuff
And
coming back. And
where
I'm
he
like,
went, yo, man, we're like, man, where you go? Like, oh man, it was crazy. But that's part of the things that happen on set that most people don't see. You know, like the work that
yes,
really goes into it. You know, and
yes.
yeah. So I mean, we trying and we gonna keep pushing. So
And we're gonna keep pushing, and I'm gonna keep pushing with you guys. As long as you keep trusting and believing in me, I'm gonna do this.
facts.
And like I said, I'm just ready. You know, I'm just at a new place now. You know, because my husband passed right after I
Yeah,
did the bachelorette scene. But
yeah.
you
I
know,
remember.
and
My
it's just
condolences.
amazing that I'm just keep moving. I'm just excited about,
Yeah,
you know, where God is taking me. I'm excited about meeting new people that, you know, see
yeah.
something in me when you don't see something in yourself sometimes. And so that's just awesome, you know. And I
Thank
just
you.
wanted to let
Thank
you
you.
know that I appreciate you guys, your whole team, and
Thank you.
just keep doing what you're doing because you have my support.
Facts, and
You
I
know.
am, and I appreciate that so much.
Yeah.
I
And
promise I do.
thank you for just joining me. And, you know, and I know people are probably going to watch your stuff. And if you guys don't, shame on you.
All right.
Everything, yeah, shame on you. But yeah, but I just say I love you, my friend, and thank you. And just keep doing what you're doing. Just
Yeah,
keep doing what
definitely.
you're doing. Stand true to you. And like I said, that's why I don't mind working with you because you stand true to who you are. No matter
Definitely.
whatever you're doing, no matter what you're doing, you always just stay true to you. And in this industry, you don't find that. It is very, very rare. And when you have people like that, those are the people that you want to support.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so
So,
much. I appreciate you
yeah,
for even having me on
yeah,
your platform. I appreciate that. You'd be surprised people
yeah.
don't interview me, so that's great. Thank you so much.
I know because when I asked you, you was like, I was like, but you know, but like I said, this is a growing experience for me. And you know, to get feedback saying how I do, you know, whatever, that's a growing, you know, and so far
Yeah.
I have been very blessed that people have given me positive reviews, you know, in my inbox about doing this.
Wow.
And so when you're doing this and you know you're doing it and God is really in the mix, that's why I continue. Because like right now, I'm already into June with people.
Wow.
Yes, I am already into June. Like when I started in February, I was already booked all the way up to May. Yes, yes, yes.
That's what I'm
So
talking
you
about.
know, and
That's
it's
what I'm
not
talking
me because
about,
I can't
yo.
give myself the credit. I have to give God the credit, and so that's
All
why I
day.
have to stay humble and be who I am, and not allow this platform to make me feel like I'm up here because at any given time He can shut it down.
Exactly. And the
He can
good
shut
thing
it down.
is knowing that you have a purpose is why he gave you the platform. That's the
Yes,
biggest part of it all. You know,
yes,
people look for people to do it the way they think it should be done, but that ain't the
yes,
way God
yes,
works. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? He sends us on our own personal path. It's just that sometimes your path is next to other people. You know what I mean? But ain't
yeah,
nobody
yeah,
supposed to walk it with you. They supposed to walk alongside you. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
So I appreciate the fact that you continue to even stay in front of the camera after you were so
Yeah.
reluctant about being in front of the camera, and the fact that you created this platform because you're actually speaking to people who have something to say, they have some type of product or they have some type of business
Yes,
or something that can help
yes,
motivate all of us out
yes,
here
Yeah.
to
And that
actually
was
want to
the
do
time.
better. And I think
Yes.
that's amazing within itself, because most people don't do
Yes.
that. I promise you.
Mm-mm.
People walk around
No.
here only think about themselves. They do not think about
Yes.
other people at all. So
Yes.
that's amazing that you do that. And I want to wish you continued success, your
Thank you. Thank
platform.
you.
And then, I have some things I'm working in the background. So when I do get those together, hopefully we can help get your platform to another level as well.
Thank
You're
you.
doing great
Thank
things
you so
already,
much.
but we want to make sure that we can help get everybody to another level. So I'm working on some
Thank
stuff.
you.
I'll let you know when I get it
Okay.
down pat.
All
But
right.
for the most part, yeah, we're gonna keep continuing to work, man. So stay focused, and I appreciate you
I
so much.
will. I will. I appreciate you too. Love you. Y'all have a good night.
Yo, thank you. Hold it down, y'all.
I will. And there you have it. Such an amazing, amazing interview. I hope you guys can follow him in the link and see the amazing things that he's doing. Like I said, he is such a talented man. And thank you, sis. And I just want to say thank you guys for just tuning in with Hot Topics with Donna. I know you could have been doing something else, but I just really want to just say thank you. And I appreciate everybody that joins in just to see what it's about. Hot Topics is honest, open, and transparent. Thank you, sis Angie. I'm waiting for her to do her interview as well. And a lot of times people don't want to be honest, open, and transparent because they feel like people are in, excuse me, people are in judgment of them. But when we can get past what we feel people think about us, then it will allow us to do things that we want to do in life instead of being held back because we feel somebody's not going to like what we're doing. And it's okay if they don't like it, but you can't allow their feelings to suffocate what you have in you and what God has purposed in you. Because like I said, I had no idea that I would be acting and doing that. Never. But because Rasheed and his team trusted me and saw something in me, allowed me to do that. So whatever you do, don't sell yourself short. Don't say I can't do it. Because if you don't try it, you won't know if you can do it or not. But one thing I want you to do is, thank you, sis Jen. Just stay honest, open, and transparent with yourself. And it's not about people, looking at you any kind of way. It's about being free. Just being free to be who you are, being free to be unapologetic. If people don't like the way that you're rolling, it's okay. You don't have to treat them any kind of way, but you just don't let that affect you, because when you do, you become in bondage to people. And so when you're honest and you're open and you're transparent, you're going to be in a much better place in whatever area that you're in. And never ever think that you have arrived, because every day I learn more about me. Every day I learn my strength. I know my weakness. And when you have weakness, then you lean on somebody and say, hey, I'm weak in this area. What do you think? Because when you think you have arrived, then people don't want to help you. People don't want to be in your presence. And when I come on here every Monday or Tuesday, I am thankful, truly thankful that I am allowing myself to be open, honest, and transparent. And when my guests come on here, they're allowing themselves to be open, honest, and transparent as well, and sharing a wealth of knowledge in whatever area that they're doing. So I will be on tomorrow night at 6:30. I will have the pleasure of interviewing a minister out of Chicago, Illinois. And that's, like I said, I have so many people that I will be interviewing, and they are not all in North Carolina. So when you see them come on here, just know that everybody that I'm interviewing are not just based in North Carolina. So tomorrow's guest is Pastor Jacob, and I'm excited about that. So just like I said, if you have, something you want me to talk about or whatever, just inbox me and say, hey, can you show this? Can you show this? And I will try to accommodate you, because that's what Hot Topics with Donna is about. It's about showcasing and letting people know what services that people offer out here. So I just want to say good night, and I love you guys. And I will be back tomorrow at 6:30, and I will be interviewing, like I said, Pastor Jacob. So please join in and just see how, we're going to flow with that too, with him being a minister. So I love you guys. And the next time I will see you is tomorrow night with Hot Topics with Donna. And I am Donna Taylor. You guys have an awesome night.